This is Robert Winters reporting from Rockland, California. It is the 12th of June, 2016, and this morning there was a terrible massacre at the Pulse Nightclub in Orlando, Florida. Right now we know that the attacker was armed with a rifle, a handgun, and there's reports of over 50 killed and 50 injured, and possibly more will perish as a result of the attack this morning. It started at 2 a.m. He entered the nightclub, pulled up in a van, shot the security guard, and proceeded to shoot people in and throughout the club. As you know, these attacks have been taking place with more frequency. We've seen over and over again these repeated attacks. The attacks are always in gun-free zones. It's clear that we are in the middle of a war right now. Whether or not Americans want to admit it, we're being attacked. This morning, Pulse Nightclub was attacked by an Islamic terrorist. Over 50 people were killed. The gunman opened fire just as the nightclub was closing. People were having their last drinks, and some were able to escape. Others hid in the bathrooms. But for over 3 hours, there was what is reportedly a hostage situation where police and first responders waited outside until finally at 5 a.m. the SWAT team went in armed and took this guy out. President Obama addressed the nation today. He said that we're still trying to figure out the facts. He said that this was an act of terror, an act of hate. He said that we'll go where the facts take us, but what he's doing is ignoring the fact that we're in the middle of a war with an enemy that has declared its willingness to attack women, children, soft targets. And that's what they hit over and over again, is these soft targets. Whenever there's a person who's armed who can defend themselves, these guys get taken out. So I'm here in Rockland, California, because I want to ask the people what they think the answer is to this attack. Should America give up its guns? Should we give up our Second Amendment? Should we give up our liberty, our freedom, our privacy because the terrorists attacked us? Because they're going after us when we're unarmed? Or should we defend ourselves? It's the right of all free men and women to defend themselves. And you can stick your head in the sand like an ostrich and pretend that we can make some law that'll make this all go away. But the reality is, the only person in that nightclub that had a gun this morning was the bad guy. And we saw how that turned out. It's the worst terrorist attack, mass shooting in American history. And I reported from the road a couple days ago saying that these people were being let into the country and that we don't know who they are. We don't know where they are. But we know that they're planning to hurt people. We know that they're planning to hit soft targets, gun-free zones. All a gun-free zone is easy target practice for these terrorists. They don't care what laws we make. They'll build a bomb. They'll smuggle something in across our very weak border. This only proves what Donald Trump is saying, in that we need to protect our borders. We need to defend our borders. They used to say that the Navy was our greatest defense, that it was a wooden wall between us and Britain. Because the last thing you want is the enemy on your own territory. And that's what we have right now. We have enemies within our gates. Barack Obama and his administration have released a Trojan horse upon America. We have all these different terrorist groups all around the nation, spread out. We don't know where they are, and they could hit us at any time. The answer is not to be afraid and scared and give all this power to the same government that let these people in. The answer is for America to wake up and realize that we're being taken over by illegal, corrupt special interests that have infiltrated our government at the highest levels. They've infiltrated our courts, and they're using these Hegelian dialectic, this clash of civilizations, to bring us down. It was said that America could never be defeated from without, that it would always have to be from within, financially. They've opened up the gates. They're letting these people in. You can feel it. You can feel it right now that there's something bad on the horizon. I could feel it a couple days ago. And today we just got hit really bad. Army Special Forces soldier Tim Kennedy was on the InfoWars show and reported that the FBI had informed him that he was a target of Islamic terrorists, that they wanted to take him out. They're coming after us. They're coming after the veterans. Anyone who speaks out, anyone who has fought against them is a potential target. I don't know about you, but I'm not going to give up my freedom. I'm not going to give up my rights, and I'm not going to let America slip into the hands of terrorists out of fear. Winston Churchill said that we would fight, we would continue on to the end. That's the kind of spirit we need to have as Americans. Don't let the terrorists win. Don't let them scare you into giving more power to the government. We got hit on 9/11. We gave the government limitless spying capability. That was supposed to protect us, remember? The Patriot Act, the NDAA, none of it has protected us. None of it. The answer is not to give up your freedom for security. The answer is freedom gives you the ability to provide your own security. And with good intelligence, an educated public, we can make informed decisions about how to better protect our nation. National security is the job of all Americans, not an agency. So this has been Robert Winters. I'm here outside Bass Pro Shop. I wanted to get people's opinion about, what are the answers? How do we stop these people? Obama said that this is more evidence that it's just too easy for people to get their hands on dangerous weapons that could hurt us. And that America needs to make some choices, and that, not doing anything about it is a choice as well, but there may be consequences to that. Well, we have really strict gun laws in California. We still got hit in San Bernardino. The FBI wanted to stop the two attackers, but ICE, immigration, Obama's administration is allowing these people to stay here. They're allowing them to be protected. They're being protected. Why? Why would Obama want to protect known terrorists and prevent our own FBI from going after these people? Think about it. What kind of motivation would they have to allow an attack to happen like this? And why was it so difficult? How come Obama couldn't say the word Islamic extremism? They had already released the fact that this guy had declared his allegiance to ISIS. His father said he didn't like these people because they're gay. Saudi Arabia is executing gay people by throwing them off buildings. State-sponsored execution of homosexuals. It's an Islamic policy that homosexuals are infidels and infidels are to be killed. Islamic extremism, Wahhabism, whatever you want to call it, is incompatible with a free, open society, with a society that accepts people and judges people based on their actions, not on their religion or the color of their skin. If we don't identify our enemies, if we can't even say their names, how can we ever defeat them? How can we ever win? What do you think the answer to the Pulse nightclub shooting is? Think we ought to give up our Second Amendment?
No, no way. Never giving that up. They need to, maybe they ought to check the people that come into the country a little better, huh? That's what I think. Need to get them out of here.
I'm just here at Bass Pro, just asking people what they think about what happened at Pulse nightclub this morning, and the administration calling for stricter gun laws in response to the attack.
Yeah, we don't need stricter gun laws.
What do you think the answer is? How do we stop these kind of attacks from happening?
How do we stop them? Or more people. We arm more people, then we don't have those problems. They'll be protecting themselves.
All right, have a good day.
You too.
So I'm just going around asking people what they think about the attack this morning in Orlando at the Pulse nightclub. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I heard about it. It's terrible. It's what do you think about it? It's just bad, man.
What do you think we should do to prevent these kind of attacks from happening?
Shoot. That's tough, dude, because I don't know about the gun control thing, but
the administration, Obama came out in his speech and said that this is just more evidence that it's too easy for people to get a hold of dangerous weapons. And
I don't think that's the cause of this. It's something else. I mean, if you have 100 people, one guy comes in with a gun, he's in charge. If you have 100 people with guns, he ain't in charge no more. So I don't agree with that.
You got anything else you want to say?
No, not really.
All right, we have a good day.
You too.
Thanks. Nightclub there in Orlando, Florida this morning.
No, I'm sorry.
50 people were killed in a gay nightclub, the Pulse, in Orlando, Florida at 2 a.m. A gunman entered the club at last call and started shooting people, killed 50 people, and up to 50 are injured in the hospital right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really bad. It's horrible. And I just came out here to find out what people think is the answer. What do we do to stop these kind of attacks from happening?
I was in a club?
It was in a nightclub. He came in with a rifle, pistol, pulled up, shot the lone security guard, and then just started taking people out. And it took the SWAT team finally at 5 a.m. to come in and take him out.
How long was the response time between?
We don't know all the details right now. We know that they had surrounded the place.
Yeah.
There was a shootout, and he went back in and then turned it into basically a hostage situation.
Okay.
And right now, the administration and a lot of politicians, pundits are coming out saying that the answer is stricter gun laws. What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't know. I think that's the wrong way to go. I think if in that club, if anybody had a concealed carry, I think they could have stopped the guy immediately. I think that's the answer, because the response time of the police were late, right? So if someone was there with a gun, they could have, helped out. They could have stopped the guy with if they had a concealed carry permit. So I think restricting is not gonna help. I mean, criminals will get guns either way. It's just restricting guns, it just makes it harder for us to defend ourselves. So I think restricting guns is just the wrong way to go.
You got anything else you want to say?
No, that's all.
All right, man, have a good day.
All right.
I'm here outside Bass Pro Shop, did a little report, and I wanted to ask and find out what the people think the answer to these attacks are. This is the worst mass shooting in American history.
So the answer to the attacks, well, let's go back in history. You're talking about the Reagan and first Bush administration, very few terrorist attacks. Then Clinton administration, there were over 8 or 9 terrorist attacks on U.S. soil throughout the world. We're talking about U.S. soil, could be anywhere from the United States or properties, consulates, embassies, things like that throughout the world. So 8 or 9 or 10 terrorist attacks throughout the world. We're talking the Cole bombing, we're talking about Oklahoma City, things like that during the Clinton administration. And even the 9/11 attacks were carried out during the Clinton administration, or planned for years during the Clinton administration, only carried out several months into the Bush W administration. So all of these attacks during the Clinton administration under a liberal administration. Then you get Bush W's administration and the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. 0 U.S. terrorist attacks on U.S. soil throughout the world. Of course, we had 2 wars going on, but Bush W gave us some security, peace of mind, and safety. Then you get the Obama administration, and now what are we up to? We're up to 7, 8, 9, 10 terrorist attacks throughout the world. We're talking Benghazi, we're talking Boston Marathon bombing, now we're talking Orlando, we're talking Southern California shootings. San Bernardino. This is ridiculous. The liberal-minded administrations that come into power think that we can just appease terrorists and be friends with them, not call it what it is, which is Islamic terrorism, and we just aren't safe. I don't feel safe. I think about it every day. There's easy, soft targets. You're talking about large numbers of people going to Disneyland or going to any number of ball games or parks throughout the world or throughout the U.S., and those are really soft targets. And this is ridiculous. So to try and appease the Islamic terrorists is a ridiculous approach to take, and that's what the liberal-minded media and administration and people are trying to do, and not label it what it is and not attack it from its source, and to think that ISIS was a JV team and not take them out in the beginning, right from the start. If they did, we wouldn't be in this predicament and have all these terrorist attacks on U.S. soil throughout the world right now. So I'm just hoping that we change administrations in the next 7-8 months, and we get back to security and safety throughout the U.S.
Thank you. You got anything else to say?
Yeah, that's good. Thanks.
All right, thanks a lot. Have a good day. 50 people were killed, 50 plus injured. More might die by the end of the day. It's a horrible tragedy, the worst mass shooting, terrorist attack in American history. And the administrations and some politicians, pundits, are calling for stricter gun laws. What do you think?
I think my opinion would be to make it less stricter for the legal citizens of this country to be able to carry and arm themselves. If one person or 2 persons were armed in that nightclub when the shooter came in, there would not be a mass casualty as we know now. There might be 2, and one of them would be the shooter.
So, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
No, I just believe that we need to be arming our American citizens to fight back and train them to fight back so that this doesn't happen again. I don't believe that stricter gun laws are the answer. Guns don't kill people. It's people behind the guns that kill people. So arming American citizens, everyday American citizens who are legal in this country to shoot back, I think you'd have a lot less.
All right, thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too.
You think gun control is the answer? Nope. What do you think we should do? How do we stop these attacks?
Arm more people.
This morning,
Yes.
Obama came out saying that we need stricter gun laws to stop these kind of attacks from happening. What do you think?
No way. Needs to find another country.
How do we stop these attacks from happening?
How do we stop the attacks from happening? CCWs. Be a lot less people that would be shot if we had CCWs. These gun-free zones are BS.
Do you feel safe in America? Do you feel safe in California with all our gun laws?
No.
What do you think is going to happen if they just pass more gun laws, ban assault rifles?
They're going to look for soft targets is what they're going to look for. Criminals.
This guy actually said that he had allegiance with ISIS, claimed that he joined them. So
really, I didn't hear that part of the story yet.
yeah, Obama said that we're just going to take the information and the facts as they come. We're going to follow the facts where they take us. But in his speech to the American people, after all this intelligence had come out, stating this link between the attacker and ISIS and Islamic extremism, He didn't once mention Islamic extremism.
No, he never will because we know what he is. He's a traitor to this country as far as I'm concerned.
Who are you going to vote for in 2016?
Donald Trump.
What do you like about Donald Trump?
What do I like about Donald Trump? I like his policy views, and I think he's an extremely strong individual, which is what we need for this country, including economics.
What do you think about Hillary Clinton?
I think she got to be in jail is where she should be.
Got anything else you want to say?
Nope, I think we covered it.
All right, you have a good day, sir.
You too.
You hear about what happened this morning in Orlando, Florida? There was an attack.
Oh yeah, it's pretty sad. Pretty sad that we're in that situation right now. It doesn't have to happen, but there's been too much of it. Something's got to be done.
Obama says we should have stricter gun laws. What do you think?
Well, coming from him doesn't say much, but then again, I think maybe just trying to enforce the ones that we have, and I think we'll be better off there too. Too many people who shouldn't have guns have them. So let's just start enforcing what we have, and I think we'll be better off.
You know, we have pretty strict gun laws here in California, and we saw the attack in San Bernardino. You know, we got plenty of gun-free zones. Do you feel safe when you're in a gun-free zone, unarmed?
Well, it's no different. It's no different than anywhere else. I mean, they can call it all they want, but people who want them are going to get them, and they have them. So, I mean, gun-free zones don't mean anything to me. They're just kind of make somebody feel good. That's about it.
Right, but I mean, as far as being a person, you know, you're a law-abiding citizen, I believe, right?
Yep.
So you're probably not carrying when you go into those gun-free zones.
Nope.
You know, most Americans aren't. How does that make you feel? Would you feel safer if you were able to legally carry?
Oh, I'm sure I would. Some of those areas there's been areas where I've been into that I would have felt a lot better off if I had something to at least protect me, myself, my family, more my family than myself. But when they sit there and tell us that we can't have guns, that kind of irks me too, because that's one of the few things that we do have in the amendment that I'd like to keep going. It's a right that was given to us. Granted, it was given to us by man, but it's a right we've had, and I'd hate for a group of people to deny me that right when there's so many other issues out there that need to be taken care of instead of along with that. So you can't zero in on one thing, the guns themselves, because I've never seen a gun kill a person. I've heard a lot of people behind the guns have killed people, so I think that's what a lot of people think.
How do you think this administration's done combating Islamic extremism abroad and here at home?
Truthfully, I think it's a tough job. I think it's really hard. I think they've done okay. Could they do better? Well, I believe they can, but I think that's got to be a tough job to figure out what these extremists are doing, because they're a crazy bunch of people, and they're radical. They've got an agenda, and they're going to go after it. They're going to do everything they can to make life miserable for everybody else.
Obama today in his speech didn't even mention Islam, despite the fact that there was intelligence connecting the suspect to Islamic State, to ISIS. He had declared some form of allegiance to ISIS before the attack. He also had connections and had talked about the Zarnef brothers who conducted the Boston bombing. What do you think about Obama's?
He's done that in the past, where he's kind of stuck his head in the sand. I mean, I don't know all the information either, but from what I've heard, they have connected them. You're afraid to whose feelings are you going to hurt? The extremists? I'm not worried about those guys as far as hurting their feelings. He's done this in a number of situations with other things where he's kind of backed off and not said things that he should have. I don't think that, to me, he's not a strong president in that respect. He has not said what he meant. I mean, he doesn't follow up, and I have a real issue with him not following up. This place is too politically correct instead of doing what's politically right. So what he says or has by omission has told me a lot about him. I have not been in very much in his favor, so I don't really care what he says anymore.
What do you think about the idea of Hillary Clinton as a president?
It scares the hell out of me. She's already been there, done that. We've had Benghazi, I'm sorry. She screwed that up. She screwed up her emails, even though she says it's no big deal. It could have been. She's done a lot of things that I don't believe in. I don't believe she talks to all the women out there about how women support her and everything else, and then her husband's one of the biggest adulterists around, and she supports him. Now, excuse me, that's kind of countering what she says. So, but her policies are very, very poor. I don't think she can, and I don't care who's going to get in there this time. We're going to have a polarized government. So we're in for a rough ride, I think, the next 4 years.
Got anything else you want to add?
Well, I just hope everybody stops and thinks about what they're doing and what this world's coming to, and let's just start figuring it out, because we're in a world of hurt right now, and I'm scared for my grandsons and grandkids and anybody that's coming up. I'm old, I'm opinionated, and I'm going to stay that way. And I'll tell you, if you ask me my opinion, and I'll tell you, I hope these young kids get an idea what their opinion is, stand by what's right and wrong. That's about it.
All right,
Okay.
thank you. Have a good day, sir.
You too.
You guys hear about what happened in Orlando this morning?
Oh,
At the Pulse Nightclub?
Yeah.
It's pretty bad, right?
Yeah,
Horrible.
it's terrible.
I mean, they came out. This guy says that he's declared allegiance to these extremist groups, and I don't know if you heard Obama's speech. Did you guys hear what he had to say?
No, I didn't hear it.
Obama said that we need stricter gun laws, and so I'm just going
no.
around asking people what they think.
No, I don't think so. Guns are a good thing.
So what do you think would have prevented or reduced the death here in this kind of situation? What's the answer?
I think, guns in the right hands are a good thing. I think that, to take guns out of law-abiding citizens' hands is the wrong thing. You can't take guns away from criminals.
What do you think, man? I mean, like what my husband said, I agree 100%. If a gun's in a wrong person's hand, of course there's going to be damage, going on, wrong things. But for a right person that's using it the correct way, it would be okay. Not all these bad things are going on. I don't know how to explain it, but
Have you ever shot a gun, or do you know how to shoot?
Oh yeah.
Feel comfortable being able to protect yourself with
Oh
your
yeah.
arm?
Oh yeah.
How do you feel when you go into these gun-free zones and you can't bring any way to defend yourself in there? Does it make you feel less protected?
Yeah, definitely.
I'd say so.
Definitely.
I would say so, yeah.
What do you think about California? Do you think we have pretty strict gun laws?
Yeah, I think they're too strict.
Yeah.
I think they're too strict.
Do you have anything else to say?
Nope, that's it, man.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.